It's really easy to store huge amount of data, in fact unlimited data in ADLS Gen2. But what's tricky is how do you quickly analyze that data? We will show you in this demo how Incorta makes it easy to do exactly that, how you can bring in huge amount of data from ADLS Gen2 to Incorta and start analyzing it. I'm using Azure Storage Explorer, and this is the folder where I have NYCTaxi data, very popular database data scientist. For 2019, I have 12 different files. Each file is around 7 to 800 MB. Each file is around 8 to 9 million records. So total around 70 to 80 million records, around 8 to 9 GB size for all of these files. In this demo, we will load data from all these files into one single table in Incorta. I'll show you how quickly then we can bring in this data in Incorta and start analyzing it. So let's get started. Remember, this is the dataset folder under which we have this, right? So first thing you need to do in Incorta is create a data source. I've already done that, ADLS_D. Let's review this. So using my account key, I have established this connection. Dataset is the folder name under which any directory I have, any folder I have, and any file inside those folders, I should be able to bring those files in Incorta. So let's look at this experience as well. So let's use schema wizard. Let's call it NYC_S for schema, and then let's use this data source we just reviewed. Now, as soon as you connect, under dataset folder, whatever folders I have, should be able to see that here. Under dataset, I have all these folders. And I can see all these folders right here. So what I want to do is inside NYCTaxi, I want to bring in all the data for year 2019. So for example, I can click on this file, select this, and then go to next screen and then create the schema. So this was just a schema wizard experience. I showed you how to quickly bring in one file, load that in one table. This is one table in Incorta. But what I want to do is I want to bring in data from all these files, around 12 of them, into one table in Incorta, right? So there's a way to do that. So I don't want this table. Let me remove this. Let's go ahead and create a new table using Data Lake and then selecting this data source. Now file type is CSV, so let's select that. And then I want to use wildcard union. And directory path is NYCTaxi/2019. Now I want to include all the CSV files inside that folder. So I'll give you I will provide star.star. So this will read data from all the CSV file and then dump it in one table in Incorta. And let's put source as well, so that file name will be stored as a source in one column in this table. Now let's go ahead and save this, and let's call it NYCTaxi 2019 and save it. That's all it is. Next step is just click on load, and I want to do a full load here. Now this may take around somewhere around 2 minutes. So let me pause my video, and as soon as data is loaded, we'll come back here again and review it. Okay, let's review how much time it took to load this data. Remember that there were around 12 different files, each file around 6 to 7 million record, each file size, average file size around 650 MB, total size maybe 7 to 8 GB. Now we ingested this data in Incorta in less than 2 minutes, 1 minute 42 seconds. And total size of this data is 1.64 GB. So all the way from 8 GB, we compressed this data in Incorta in Parquet file format into 1.64 GB. Now let's go ahead and click on Explore to quickly analyze this data. For example, say for example, I want to see what is average fare for 2019. All I need to do is use data field, and then let's call it average fare. Let's change this to average. And then let's say I want to see if people are tipping more or less in 2019. All I need to do is just do average of tip amount, right? Average tip. And what about passengers, total passengers, right? So do we have passenger count, average passenger taking a trip in 2019. So let's change this to average and then AVG. So this is just to give you some idea how fast it is, not only to load data in Incorta, but also to analyze it. And one more thing, remember we loaded data in one table from different files and we provided source column name. So here, if you want to see count of number of record by different file, all I need to do is just drag and drop source here and then any ID here to do a count. And then I can convert this into count, and this is number of records by file. And let's save this. So right here I can see by each file how many records I've loaded in this table, total number of records. I can also enable that. So let's make this as total here and click on done. Now another cool thing which I really like is if you want to look at each and every record, all you need to do is just drag all of these columns here and maybe call it details and save it. Now I can of course edit layout and maybe bring this next to it, and let's make it maybe 3x or something like that and save it. Now 84 million records in this table. If I just want to see all the data for one particular file, just click on that file, 7 million records in this file. I can see it right here in this table. And if you want to download this in CSV, by the way, just by picking and choosing which table, which columns you need, just click on download CSV, you're done. So the whole idea is Incorta makes it really easy to connect with ADLS Gen2, bring in as much data as you want from there, load that in Incorta and analyze this data using Incorta dashboard. And you also have full power of PySpark to do any machine learning kind of modeling in Incorta. Pretty easy to do that. Maybe I'll show you that in some other video.